and I'm the CEO of FrontierView. And on behalf of my colleagues at FrontierView, we welcome you and thank you for joining our third episode of our new GlobalView series. This week, I'm sitting down with Emily Scott, who's our Chief Consulting Officer, and Martin Belchev, our Associate Practice Leader for Central and Eastern Europe, and our resident expert on all things channel and channel excellence. And we're going to have a discussion regarding the evolution of the indirect channel and how MNCs should adapt their channel management practices post-COVID. So let's talk about design a little bit. Obviously, e-commerce growth has exploded in the last 18 months and catalyzed by the pandemic. It was growing fast anyway, but we've seen explosive growth. That obviously creates urgency in how our clients really need to rethink their channels. And I guess, what did your research uncover with regards to how multinational corporations envision the role their distributors will actually play in this kind of online-offline integrated channel of the future?
So what immediately stands out from the data we've collected is the fact that actually, when we compare the four main industry verticals, it seems that, broadly speaking, MNCs don't really have concrete plans about this yet, and how the real distributors fit into this broader framework. Now, some MNCs have actually taken steps to address these challenges, especially when we consider distributor capabilities and when we consider this issue of skills gap as well. So we are seeing some structured programs of upskilling distributors, and again, as one can note from the data, this is really driven by the B2C industry vertical, where this is dominating. And again, this confirms our expectations that the B2C companies are a bit far ahead when it comes to this. It seems that, broadly speaking, however, MNCs are doing more solution sales oriented training, bring more value-added services and training distributors on these issues. Hence why we see distributors still playing a vital role in this omnichannel and this new route market design, but we still see some MNCs lagging behind a bit when we talk about just the upskilling of the distributor and how they can bring more value to the online channel.
Martin, before you go on, I did have a question, because this is about capability building in the channel. And we've done a lot of research over the years, and you've recently completed another study on the capabilities required for the future channel design, if you will. If you were to pick one area that a client should focus on for upskilling the capabilities of their partners, what would that one area be?
Well, that's a good question. I would say what we've seen really is this increased focus on customer segmentation strategy. Now, how MNCs have historically been employing this to a great extent, really what we've seen in the last year is this becoming more prevalent, especially as some pockets of demand essentially became inaccessible, and the only way to approach them was through these e-commerce channel. Hence, really getting to know what your customer is, getting to know their needs, and making sure that their distributors, their partners are aware of these, not only aware of these customer segmentation strategies, but are actively employing them using data tools that have been that's made again available through these e-commerce channel is crucial.
Great. I didn't mean to take you away, because I think you were going to also just share kind of region by region the urgency around this in terms of how online, the transition to online is expected to continue.
So when we talk about this, just general preparedness, I would say that essentially preparedness is relatively uniform across the region. So we don't actually see major geographical differences. But I also want to spend some time here on this slide, which really showcases how MNCs expect their online sales to develop versus in 5 years versus today. And what we're really seeing is that, again, unsurprisingly, we are MNCs across the board expect online sales to make a larger share of their total sales in 5 years, especially. And just really in 2020, we saw e-commerce growing by 30% year on year globally. And now a lot of it has to do again with the fact that a lot of MNCs switch to these e-commerce channels, but we do expect this trend to really remain strong and continue going forward. And just I guess as a point of comparison, we've seen the value of the e-commerce market in 2020 in US billion being roughly the same as the combined value of global e-commerce in 2014, 2016. So again, keeping in mind this broader context of skills and capability gaps, the fact that distributors seem not fully prepared to embrace fully e-commerce, we are currently find ourselves in this position where we see this online sales as percentage of total sales growing quite substantially in the next 5 years, but then these capability gaps continue to exist, just driving the overall urgency for MNCs to really address these issues.